All right.
Hey guys, welcome.
Take it away.
All right, hey guys, welcome to Reticulous Radio. We're here with Jeremy Steele, and Jeremy, did you want to talk about what got you into the hobby?
I think I don't know. I've always been into reptiles. Even just from a little kid. I remember. I mean, even being like 5 years old and just being fascinated with snakes. And I think I got my first boa when I was, I don't know, probably about 11 or so. And just kind of worked up from there. I mean, I was just a little kid, and we ended up moving, and I had to get rid of it. And then I got my first berm at 16, and it just kind of went from there. And I've pretty much had just about everything under the sun, from Brazilians to carpets to green trees and bloods, and just everything.
What's going on, Danny?
Yeah.
What do you mainly work with now?
Mainly right now it's just pretty much retics. I've always been more fascinated with the bigger constrictors, pretty much. I do have a pair of I just recently got a pair of berms a couple months ago that I'm ready to start doing. So
very nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always have a toss up between retics and berms. Because I love the berms because they're more laid back, and I love the retics because they're so active.
You're right.
So it's like a crazy mixture of both worlds there.
I think I prefer the retics just because of, I think, the intelligence level. I mean, it's just it's just no comparison, from anything out there, unless you're going to own like some sort of a lappet or something like that, But other than that, I mean, I don't think there's anything else on the smart scale other than like a retic that I want to own. So.
Yeah, definitely.
So what's like when you say work with retics, any like specific morphs that you're more into than?
I'd probably say Motley is probably my favorite gene. I've got it in Super Motley. I've got it in an Orange Glow Motley Platinum Citron. I got a purple Motley Super Tiger, which I kind of try and stay away from Tiger. That's not one of my favorite genes, but
that's weird. That is one of my favorites, just because it's one of the originals that I remember.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, everybody has Tiger and something. It's okay, the Tiger gene by itself, but once you start getting, like Super Tigers, you get that bad pushing, and stuff like that. And
yeah.
I try and stay away from that. So, but it's like I have a Phantom Super Tiger, and she's just an absolute bitch.
Oh really?
Yeah, I hate taking her out, but she's getting better.
Thank you, Danny, for sure.
How big is she now?
I'd say she's probably roughly 8 to 9, maybe 10. I don't know.
Nice.
But
I know you got a couple big ones now. At least I've seen pictures of some big ones in your.
Yeah, I think my biggest, she's probably a little over 16 feet.
Nice.
She's probably the only one that everybody says, you can't, trust him and this and that. She's like literally the only one that I can go in. I don't have to tap her. I can just go in and pull her out. I've never had any problems with her.
Yeah. And like I always say, I feel like people go off of what they, knew from years ago. Like I feel like their demeanor has changed so much.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like huge amounts. Because like I said, my old ones, dude, I bit 6 times pulling them out. I didn't pull anyone out. And I can almost guarantee 99% of chance that there's no chance I'm getting bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
that 1%, I feel.
I have a few that are. I'm not going to say they're mean. They're very food aggressive. I don't believe in the whole. They're mean.
Absolutely, I have ones that'll come shooting out, but it's for food. And as soon as you get them out, they're perfectly content. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I got some that I trust and some that I wouldn't, as far as I can throw them. So, but I try and, I don't do the whole, tap training. That's just something that I don't really, personally believe in. I mean, everybody's got their own method, but most of mine I can go in and just grab them, which is kind of the way I prefer it. But
no, I've always stuck with tap training because it's literally you just see them like shut down as far as aggression, food aggressive. It's literally just a shut off button. It seems. I can go in anytime. They'll be striking as soon as you reach in. Just touch them, let them know they're out of it.
And it can help calm the defensive snakes as well. I mean,
yeah, I have a few that I gotta kind of let them know, hey, it's not food time. Especially that Phantom Super Tiger I have. I mean, I gotta get her head like moving in the opposite direction before I can like reach in and pull her. Otherwise I'm gonna have a few teeth marks. But I think it's just knowing their attitude.
Yeah.
Jamie likes the
have their
incubator.
matches. Huh?
I said Jamie likes the incubator.
Oh, thank you. I'm pretty proud of it.
Yeah, it turned out pretty good, man.
Thank
I saw
you.
when you posted that.
Compared to it saying Porsche, I think that looks a lot better now.
Oh yeah. You like the stand-up incubators?
Yeah. So far, and this one's it's pretty big, as far as deep wise too. So I can get a good bit in there. And I got a deal. I paid $25 for that.
Oh shit, you can't beat that.
So, no, and you look anywhere, and it's always you're looking at $500 for a broken one. I got lucky. The guy, he was originally getting rid of it for free, and someone had already called him. I told dude, I was like, I'll give you $50 right now. I'll come out right this second. He's like, well, dude's still not here. If you come before him, it's yours.
No,
so
nice.
I got out there. Dude was like, just give me $25 for it. I'm like, cool. Loaded it up and came home, cleaned the hell out of it, and everything. It's motion censored, so whenever you walk past, the lights will come on, go off whenever you're out of the room. It's a pretty nice little setup. But for $25, and then of course, you got to order the heat tape and the thermostat. But
right.
I can't complain on what altogether it costs.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty good deal. I don't know, as far as incubators, I find that the cooler method almost works. I mean, it's just flawlessly. I mean, it's like a big giant thermal mass. I mean, you close it and it's already getting back up to temperature real quick. But,
because originally I was going to do the sit down coolers, just basic cooler, and because I'd seen Garrett Hartle showed a video on that, and the more and more I thought about it, I was like, that's a great idea because then you have great humidity. But then I also thought about it as if you look at a hot tub, it's filled with bacteria. Now, I just don't know if that would play an effect with, like, I know a couple people that do use them coolers get a decent amount of mold. I don't know.
I think that's why. I feel like you use the fish heaters to keep that water moving.
Yeah. You keep it going.
The little cooler pumps or whatever.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Stagnant.
Yeah. But still, no matter what, a hot tub you gotta think has those jets in it too. But once you have warm water just sitting, I feel like it still build up bacteria. That's my thoughts. But
that's true.
Because I even thought about with this was running a to put humidity in it, like the humidifier, and run a tube through it and set it so it would constantly be thrown in like mist or whatever. But I don't know. I just have mixed. It works how it does, so I don't know if I want to mess with it. But I feel like to up the humidity even more wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah. Do you find that you have to, every so often add more water in with the vermiculite or whatever you use?
So what I do, I use 2 containers. I use one that's filled a good bit with water, and then I have a smaller container that the eggs would be in, go into that container, and then the lid goes over top of the big one, and you constantly always have water in there. And for the most part, you always your vermiculite or perlite stays pretty warm.
Right.
It's so far what I figured out works.
Right on.
So that, and then I use them to light diffuser as little racks. But
Somebody's not having a good time.
Who's that? East House.
Probably. I heard something going on out there.
My house.
He'll be all right.
No, yeah. I don't know. That's with the cooler method. It's like you almost don't even have to. Like wet the mixture. You know, you just set the eggs in there on dry, and it just sucks everything up.
Yeah. Either way, like any closed system works pretty good. I know an old man that's in the hobby and still uses a wooden incubator, and
Really?
he has great success. He's one of the biggest breeders out of PA, but he's old school and works perfect. Because my brother was even thinking about building a custom one out of PVC and doing it like that, which I didn't think would be a bad idea. So,
yeah, I was looking at the AP ones. They look like they're really nice and got a lot of room. I haven't decided on that yet.
Yeah, a lot of things I like to try to build it first. If I can't build it, then I'm gonna order it. But I don't know. It's just something to see, because a lot of times you can do it for a quarter of the cost of whatever you're gonna pay for from someone else.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to build everybody a new cage, and it's just I don't want to pay no $400 or $500 to somebody else when I can do it myself.
Because like
For half the cost.
And I always look at it, the more I save on stuff like that, like the incubator, something that would hold that many eggs, you're looking at probably well over $1,000. It's funny because I just come across one of my buddies was getting rid of an incubator. It's a little. The original one, it was from 1992, I think it was. Originally sold for $5,000, but you could probably only hold maybe 5 ball python clutches in there. Like, nothing special, but he showed me the whole booklet. $5,000 for that. I'm like, that's nuts.
Nope.
Yep. But
Thank you.
40
Thank you for
small
following
eggs.
Susan. Yeah.
it was a cool setup. Like, I liked it. And it's all stainless steel and it was nice. But I don't see $5,000 sitting there,
No. Yeah, everything's come way down in price these days, though.
Yeah. Because a lot of it, like I said, you could do it yourself. So a lot of these companies lower their price because they know you can do it for for a quarter of the cost. So then they lower it down. So they're trying to work with you so they still make sales.
Right.
But I don't know. It's if I can save on that, I can put more towards everything else. It's just you save in little spots, and then instead of doing paper, I do the Reptic chip because it only costs me so much for this, and Yeah,
I've been back and forth on the bedding. It's like my rack here. I use that like the forest floor to try and keep the humidity up. And then on these bigger ones, I use a paper, and I just can't, get the humidity in there. And, it's a constant battle to try and, find what really works.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a pain. I did, who was it? Trying to think of who just did the video on the Retics in the wild. Was it Dave Kaufman?
Yeah.
I think. Where he
it was Dave Kaufman.
The highest humidities were at night. So I even tried that at night when I shut down everything. I'll spray down the enclosures, and it seems to just up the humidity a nice bit overnight. And for the most part, I got all my Retics shed in one piece.
Right.
So I'm aiming to get them all that way because everybody knows Retics, once they hit a certain size, just pain in the ass for shedding.
Yeah, I've had to put mine in a big container and just let them soak and go in there and
Yep.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
Yep. Yeah, I had to buy a giant container for that, and it takes up so much wasted space. But I guess you gotta do what you gotta do.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but
For sure.
trying to get to the point that I don't have to do that.
Smaller
But
retics are easier to get to shed in one piece, in my
they all
opinion.
shed in one piece. It's ridiculous. It's like they hit a certain age and it just stops.
Right.
It explodes all over the cage. You got like shed on.
Well, for the
top of
most
the
part, I
cage
get
is
locked out.
gross.
As soon as they start going into shed, as soon as they got it off their head, usually I would go in and let them soak for a little bit, and then put them back in, and it all, for the most part, comes right off. Instead of little chunks, you get bigger chunks at least, if anything.
Right.
Right.
But yeah, Retics.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I kind of like the berms. The berms, I've never had a problem with that.
Really.
All the berms, yeah, we get full sheds out of the berms. Yeah, it's just something about the Retics that they said, I'm going to try this whole. None of them have gone into sheds since I started doing the once a night spray down. So we'll see. I'd love to have one from Goliath or Sally, like a full out shed. But yeah, as far as that, all I have. This is from one of the berms that we have. But yeah, it's full shed compared to what we get from the Retics. So hopefully
Retics are fun.
Yeah, I love them. That was always one of my favorites. Now the berm was the first large one I ever had, large constrictor I ever had. But the Retics just, I feel like there was almost something about it back when I was younger. You know, everybody said, don't get one. And nowadays I'm like, well, no one can tell me I can't get something. So I do it.
Well, I mean, they've come so far since, being, captive bred over the years, it's just like, with anything, it's like, I noticed like, I want to get a pair of scrubs eventually, it's not a lot of people are keeping them, but I'll probably wait a few more generations, until they start breeding that nastiness out of them.
Yeah. Because it's all over time. It's pretty much the wildest bred out of them. That's why, people that let their snakes go out, like that snake, probably not going to make it. It's just not meant for that.
Right.
It's used to being fed food every week. It's not used to that. Yeah.
Right.
They have none of that natural of trying to hide from cold or anything like that because they're never given that.
Right.
So I don't know. I definitely, as far as like you're saying, the temperaments have changed so much.
Yeah.
Which I think is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of scrubs did you get?
Oh, no, I said I want to eventually get a pair of scrubs. There's a few more things that I want to do. I want to get a pair of scrubs, and then I kind of want to get some green anacondas eventually. That's pretty much it. I mean, I don't want to go too far, I find that if you want to get into breeding, I learned this a long time ago with, getting one of these and one of that and one of this and, a pair of these, and, if something, if it doesn't work out, that pair, well, then, that's just not going to work out for the year. Whereas you have like multiples of the same snake, you're probably going to have better success,
For sure.
So,
like whenever I tried going at this all in my early 20s, I went out and bought everything completely wrong. Now over time I had money to go and buy the right things that I needed for everything. But the coastal carp python, which she's right behind me, had that. I had a boa, everything that I bought things because I liked them. And then over time I was like, oh, well, now I need more of these to go with this, and made it's been over years of just adding everything up.
Yeah, that's kind of where I started. Just kind of got everything. Just because I liked it. I had like, one time I bet you I probably had 50 or 60 different type of species, and then I wanted to get into breeding, and thought about it. And it's like, okay, well, I've got one of these and a pair of those, and just okay, do I really want to buy 5 or 6 more of everything else here, and then have 500 mouths to feed, So eventually I just kind of went, with more or less what my passion, really was, which is, the big guys, and this is where I am now.
Yeah. Well, they're always fun. I try to have a variety, I guess, for selling wise, but it's definitely where I had to go out and buy a lot more of the same stuff, like you were saying. You want more of the females, you can have, I always try to keep 2 males just in case the one male doesn't want to do anything.
Right.
And always good either way to have another male in that, like 2 male retics, because I use the skins, the shed, and that's how I'll smoke the other male into, breeding.
Right. Yeah. I've thought about it. I've watched a video on that.
It works great. It works great. Literally I'll throw in another male skin and then put that male in. And literally within, I'd say 2 minutes, he's already on top of her and locked. So it's turned out pretty well. That, and also, like I said, misting at night. I caught more locks with doing that. With misting that, just one side down just to up the humidity, they would I'd come in and see more locks. So
I periodically I'll throw in a male and see how receptive the female is, and it's like like my biggest girl down here. She it's like clockwork every year. Around late September, she'll go off food, and she doesn't want anything to do with anybody until then.
Yeah, they pretty much tell you when. They know when.
Exactly. Which I'm surprised. I got probably 4 or 5 locks that I seen, and she just didn't take this year. Oh well.
Yeah, I usually start in around October, and I'll throw in a male. Usually, she's not receptive at that point, and I'll pull him out that day, put him in his enclosure, and then give it another month. And then put them back in and just keep on going on. And usually it's like mid-spring, late spring, we've seen babies on the ground. So usually a little later. It'd be nice to get something earlier, but that's how it works. It just seems that's how it works here too.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is, trying to figure out what you want to go for. It's like I've got a couple bigger genetics where I could probably make some real expensive snakes, but they're hard to sell. I'd rather have a handful of $300-$400 snakes as opposed to having some $1,500 $2,000 snakes.
Yeah. Not everybody has that money to pull out.
Exactly.
And then you're stuck using payment plans, but it all works out one way or another as long as you got reliable people.
Yeah, that's half the battle, but hey, name is everything in this industry, and you can't tarnish that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and I see a lot of people doing that. It's pretty shitty out there.
Yeah, customer service is everything.
Past
hey,
weeks and
yeah,
we won't get into it.
It's a lot. There's a lot of scammers out there, and that's why the people that I stick with is the people I've done, business with or talked to, or, at least got a feel for who they are and what they are. Because there's people, if you just see something with a price tag and you go, oh, that's cool, I'm going to buy it. It could be a scam. Talk to that person, reach out to them, say something, You'll be able to tell just in messages what kind of people they are.
Right. I won't. I don't know the full story. I won't mention names, but I heard somebody just put up, a bunch of their collection and ran off with people's money.
Yeah.
I just heard about that today.
Yeah. Nobody's heard.
It's been pretty.
Well, what I heard is
you didn't hear
legal
about
issues.
Yeah, they're both facing
but anyway,
charges.
that's a bad situation.
Yeah.
I don't know. There is no good about that. I don't see.
Mm-mm.
No.
I feel bad for anyone that sent money. Like that's, I don't know.
Yeah.
Always send payments under business.
Yeah.
Senpai,
Yeah, that's a good point too.
That's the lesson of the stream today.
They had payments sent to them on PayPal from like guests and family and friends.
Right.
And, like,
So you can't dispute it at all.
I mean, I get why people do that, but I mean, if you're gonna deal with this, I mean, just suck it up and pay the couple bucks.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
isn't that what you just told me earlier, Keith?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
You literally just told me that earlier. Like,
Yeah,
you might as
do
well
the
pay a
math.
couple extra bucks for insurance.
Right, do the math and add it on.
Yeah, it's literally only a couple bucks. But I always do it as friend because I always deal with whoever quite often.
Right.
I look at it, I'm saving myself or saving them. I don't know.
I mean,
But yeah, I guess
I mean, I've sent under friends and family through people that with huge names that I trust.
Right.
So.
But
Yeah.
I like paying for things in cash though. That's my favorite.
Josh doesn't even have a bank account.
Up front and yeah, I don't have a bank account. I don't believe in them.
Yeah, it's just another way for somebody to get your money.
Yep, absolutely.
So,
Oh man.
but
It's like anytime I ever buy something, I'm like, all right, I gotta run down to CVS to put money on my PayPal. Like, wait, what's CVS? I'm like, yeah, like I gotta get deposit money onto my PayPal.
really, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, CVS does it. If you go onto the app on your phone, it'll give you a where you put install money or whatever, it'll give you an option, Walmart or CVS or Rite Aid, and you just click it. It'll give you a barcode. You go up, they scan it, and you tell them how much money you want on it, and bam, it's done.
Okay, that's neat. I didn't know that.
It makes it pretty simple. I don't got to keep anything connected to PayPal or any way of stuff getting hacked. Just makes it easier. I feel like on my part, I might have to drive somewhere, but I know how much money I'm putting on. I know, all of that.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Danny said they hate cash because it's too easy to lose. Definitely lost money before.
Yeah, but I usually find it. It's
Yeah,
nice.
you find it too.
We found $100 hidden behind a picture the other day. I'm like, cool.
Nice thing about cash too is you usually save on fees, or people will cut you deals too because there's no trace of it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no processing fees.
It's going.
You got something up for $600 or something. Someone comes in and offers you, hey, I'll give you $500 cash. Hey, take it.
Exactly.
So, but,
Yeah, it's usually how it works. Anyone with cash in hand usually goes well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then you get to interact with the people in person too.
Yeah.
So
So you guaranteed you're not getting scammed, or at least
Yeah.
hope you don't get robbed.
so.
Wait, what projects you got going this season?
I'll try and breed my big girl again this year. I've got an ultra ivory that should be ready, and I've got a titanium super tiger that I'm going to try and breed, and I'm hoping to get either some OG or albino motley titaniums. That's kind of that's my big thing that I want to go for. I don't know if you've ever seen one. It's almost like a genetic stripe, but like way cleaner. It's just like totally striped, one solid stripe on each side all the way down. But
I'll look into them.
yeah, I took a picture of the Retic Nation and one. I was like, I'm gonna make those one day, and now I got the genetics to do it. But I don't think this Phantom Super Tiger is gonna be ready. I mean, she's gonna be only probably about 3 years old, so I'm not gonna try her till next year. It's just a little too young. And then I got a pair of
I've always figured anytime I ever had a doubt, I just push it till next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you're guaranteed will be bigger. You'll, no matter what, it's just more positive from it.
Yeah, it's just I don't think I've heard of too many retics that breed under 4 years old. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't even try it. And I got a pair of pieds. She's probably only about 1.5 years old, so she's got a long time to go. And I got my super motley, which I was told was a male, but I think is a female. So I haven't checked that yet, but I'll get around to it eventually.
That's not always a bad thing, but
no, actually, I'm kind of hoping that she's a female now. So
yeah, you haven't tried probing her or popping her?
No, I got the probe kit in here. I just haven't gotten around to it lately. And that's one thing I haven't mastered is the popping. I feel like I'm going to put too much pressure, and I don't want to hurt them.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm always worried about using the probes.
Really?
I feel better popping them than to use a probe because I feel like if I go too far, I've done both, but I prefer just popping them real quick.
Right.
But it's pretty simple after you've done it a few times. It's just mainly the rolling of your thumb, and
that's what everybody tells me. I don't know. I'll get with somebody that'll show me how to do it. I mean, like I said, I'm afraid I'm going to put too much pressure. So
yeah. You do got to apply a good bit of pressure, but yeah, I can understand where you're at there. Because first time I was scared to do it, especially whenever you're doing babies. You don't want to hurt them, do anything wrong, and so it's definitely you got to learn just the right amount of pressure to put.
Exactly, and then with the probe too, they can, you can get false reading on that if they tense up and it doesn't go far down, and then you think okay it's a female, and then you send out a male, and so.
Even a lot of companies will say that they can't even guarantee sex. They can give you the best or what they think it is, but they can't ever guarantee it. Which, in one sense, I feel they're smart for doing that. But for the most part, you can figure out if they're male or female.
Right. I don't know. I mean, there's a few people that I wouldn't trust to send me the right thing. I've heard, bad stories. I don't like to throw anybody's name out there. So,
well, a lot of it, what that is I feel like there's a lot more people working under them.
Mm-hmm.
That they've done it correctly, or one person grabbed the wrong snake instead of this one, or that's why we try to keep it. I don't want to get to the point where we have multiple employees. I'd rather just have family or everybody that I've grown up doing it with.
No, I get that, but then when you send it, you contact them. Hey, I was sold. I wanted this, and I was sold this, and they turn around. Yeah. Oh, well, my employees don't make mistakes. Well, obviously they did. So, and then they don't want to make it right.
Yeah, see, that's wrong. Even if I would have sold something wrong, like, hey, I will gladly, make it back up to you or whatever.
Right.
Knock on wood, that hasn't happened, but if it does, you make it right. That's just how it works.
Yeah, it's all about customer service.
So do you mainly work with mainland, or do you do any locality stuff, or what's up?
No, I'm just pretty much mainland. I have my theories on the super dwarfs and stuff like that. I understand. Everybody wants. Some people want a small retic, and you take these huge snakes and stick them on an island with jack shit to eat. For years and years and years. Yeah, they're going to get smaller, but I think you take those same snakes now, and then you start giving them food every single week. As to where they weren't getting that event, like they used to on an island. I think, personally, my view is I think you're gonna start seeing them go the opposite direction and getting bigger and bigger. I don't know. I mean, that's one of those things that remains to be seen. But
yeah, that's something me and Josh have actually talked about. Like it seems like a lot of these people are still kind of keeping them on like they're not feeding them as much as they would their mainland. You know what I mean? They're feeding them small to keep them small.
Right.
It almost seems like, you know what I mean?
Even
I don't.
Conrad, you know, he kind of did the same where he fed the bigger one bigger meals. She's a lot bigger than the super dwarf now, because you have that in your mind that, oh, well, I got to feed, you know, instead of going to larges, I'm feeding mediums or smalls,
Yeah.
which I feel like I see that a lot. But there's some out there that I know are feeding them like mainlands, and we'll see. Because I get the whole thing of, me and Garrett had even talked before where, like you said, a carpet python will only get so large. Like, it'll get fat, but it's only going to get so long. And but I still feel like over time, with everybody breeding them, it's just going to be back to the mainland.
Right.
As far as after feeding and all that. And I've seen some pretty big super dwarfs.
Exactly. So, I've seen some of these, they're 50 and 60%, and they're 14 plus feet. Well, that don't sound like a super dwarf to me.
No, that sounds like my normal mainland that's sitting in here.
Exactly.
So that brings me on another topic. Do you think all these locality animals further down the line, if they do get big, if you know what I'm saying, if they do get 15 feet and they're labeled as super dwarf locality, let's take Madu or Slayer, or not Slayer, but Madu or Calato or Karumpa, for instance, if like 15, 20 years down the road, do you think they're going to hold that same value for a pure animal that they did? Or do you think it's just holding value because it's labeled a locality because it's a smaller animal? I mean,
I think eventually, if these animals end up getting 15, 16 feet, in 20, 25 years, I don't think they're going to hold that same value because, people are buying them because, they're saying, people are advertising, yeah, we're, this, locality will only get, 6 or 7 feet, and I wouldn't personally think that it would hold the same value. You might as well just label them all mainlands at that point, But like I said, that's something to be seen,
I don't know.
yeah.
Trying to fix it.
I keep hearing.
So like also another reason why market value is so much higher on them. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. The reason I think market value is so much higher is obviously because right now these females that are only 8-10 feet long, that are super dwarf, they're like small clutches compared to their mainland counterparts. So you're not getting as many animals. So right now. So if they do end up getting bigger, down the line,
definitely some that will stay on
bigger clutches.
But that's been with everything over the years. There's some huge record-setting snakes, and then there's some that it's an average between 12 and 30 foot or whatever. It's just you don't know what you're going to get. You might get one that stays small. You might get one that's huge. Now, as far as the ones that Garrett just recently produced, that the eggs were the size of smaller than your palm. I definitely think those will stay smaller. But at that point, it is definitely. I don't know. It's a mixed up feeling. I kind of want to wait to see where it all goes, and instead of hopping on something now, where you're spending $2,000 more than you would for that morph that you would pay in a mainland. But I don't know. Like I said, it's all just I look at it as a waiting game to see what all happens. I know a lot of people that have them, and just pretty much waiting to see how big they get.
That's correct.
And I've always wanted retics because they're big.
Exactly.
So I'm just not. I love them. They're cool, they're retics, but they're not my big retics. So I don't know.
Exactly. That you get a retic because you want something that's huge. That's why I keep them. I like the big snakes. If I wanted something small, I'd get a boa.
Yeah, again, that's how I've always looked at it since I've seen it. Like I said, I like it. It's cool. It's a retic, but it's just not what I see as being impressive. So I don't know.
It's
I definitely have mixed feelings on a lot of subjects. Most people will realize that because I was trying to look at it from both sides, and I like to be biased, But in the end of this story is I like big snakes. So
exactly. I mean, I'm not knocking people that that want super dwarfs. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, personally, I wouldn't pay that extra money for one because like I said, I have my thoughts on where it's going to go eventually, but I don't know. It remains to be seen. So.
Yep. So I'll play it out, watch it, and go from there.
Yeah,
I get the whole. It's go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, no, you go ahead. I was going to jump topics. I'm bad at that.
More people to own retics if they do stay smaller. I do see it as a great part there, but I don't know. I just, I'll just stick to the bigger ones for now.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I think eventually, I mean, with the whole Lasiak thing, I'm glad that I got overturned, but I think, they're going to keep going after, all these big snakes until, they get their way and, people just can't own them anywhere anymore. And if these, super dwarf retics, do stay that small, it might be a great investment then. But, until that happens, I'm not going to buy one.
Well, hopefully they never take over. Yeah.
Right.
Our community.
Well, let's hope they don't ever ban retics. Because it would.
No, I'd probably still keep mine. And, it'd be a big underground. Hey, I got one of these, and
I don't know. I hate how they think that they'd have the control over what everyone does. Just because you're not into it and don't enjoy it, don't ruin it for other people.
Exactly. Right. But you got people like Peter.
It's like the whole gun debate. Oh, you're here for my guns? I actually just lost them on a boating trip. I think they're in the bottom of the lake. I lost my retics at the bottom of the lake.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, someone stole my retics. Sorry.
Yep.
I ain't got none.
Yeah, it's either that or it's always some kind of money where they want you to buy the license.
Yep.
It's always something. They just want to control it. Yeah. But if you try to control something they enjoy, they wouldn't be happy about it.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's like, here, I live in Arizona right now, which I fucking can't stand. It's way too hot. But it's like we don't have to pay anything out here. But probably year and a half or so, I'm going to be moving back to Texas, and it's $20 to keep them and a $60 license if you breed them.
Yeah,
which is fine. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, there's nothing much, but I just love how they got to get something.
Yeah. They always got to put their fingers on something.
And emissions on cars. They
Michigan. There's no licenses required here in Michigan.
It's because no one even knows that Michigan's exists.
Yeah, you're way up there. You're way up there where nobody even knows.
It's too cold for anything that escapes to survive anyway. I mean, think about any exotic reptile that you have escape. It's gonna be dead within less than a month.
Well, yeah, it's like when they had that Lasiak map. They were saying the whole southern United States and stuff like that. Well, out here it's 120 degrees during summer. I'd like to see one survive that. It's just not gonna happen.
Right.
Yeah. Right. It's right now. It's like 13 degrees outside. So
people they don't enjoy it, so they don't want you to enjoy it.
Exactly. I mean,
no.
I think you were saying the quote that Garrett's daughter had, and that's so true.
Oh yeah, that's what. Yeah, Conrad said last time.
It's it's a lot of fear mongering. I think.
I mean that's I always try and at least like once a year like take a couple to my kids' school and share them and put it out there, they're not, bad animals, just, and a lot of, I try and, ask them, about the, a lot of them are scared, it's like, well, why is that? I mean, you're not born with fear, where did you learn that from,
Yeah.
But even look at it like my son, I bought him a dirt bike, and it's impossible to find places for him to ride now.
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, you could ride everywhere, but as time went on, this person didn't like the noise. So then they'd call the cops. Like, this one area was huge we used to all go to, and there used to be like 30 people. Now, if you go, the cops are there within 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people driving past, and the houses are miles away. Like, you might hear a little, nothing much, but you're really going to complain about that because it's just something you don't enjoy to do.
Yeah, there's always somebody complaining about something.
Yep.
So, it is what it is. I try and keep away from all that crap. You however you want to live your life like that.
Yep. For sure. So I'm trying to move just into the middle of the country and don't have to deal with any of it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Anyways.
So, did you have a locality scrub in mind, at least? Because I was thinking about getting into scrubs eventually. I was thinking Barnecks, but
that's what I was thinking. I'd love to get the Australian, the King Horneye or something like
Southern?
that. No, the Australian.
Oh,
ones.
Right.
Yeah, they're
they're
like the true giants. I mean, they're 15, 16 feet, but I don't know. I've heard rumors about people that have pure localities, but I mean, if somebody actually does have it, they're keeping a tight lid on it because I can't find any.
Right. See, I really wanted to get into, the bigger scrubs as well, but then I'm like, I really like the look of the Barnecks, and they're just beautiful all around. Just everything about them. They're just really appeasing to the eye, I guess.
I hear you, man, but right now, I mean, they got that attitude on them. There's I've seen a few that are pretty mellow, but most of them, shitheads.
You definitely don't want to come like face to face. You want to keep their head directed away from yours.
Yeah.
From what I hear, they're very visual animals. So.
Yeah, they're very, very alert, almost like a retic. I mean, it's it's kind of like what I like about retics. I mean, it's like they'll almost they'll kind of almost like study what you do. They'll learn a routine. It's like with my biggest female. Like I just open the door and everything's fine, I start tapping on the bottom of the cage, and then she knows, oh shit, it's food, and then she like wakes up,
Yeah, that's why I like the southern white lip that I have. He's just so focused on everything. Mm-hmm. As soon as you're going in, he's focused. He's cool once he comes out, but he's just so. He likes to explore. Like I said, you'll just watch his head. He watches everything. It's impressive.
Right. Yeah. I don't think I've never had a southern. I've never had white lips.
They're fun.
I think the most intriguing species I've ever had, and I'm kicking myself in the ass every day for getting rid of them. I had a pair of rough scale pythons. Man, those are neat.
Yeah.
But man, they got some big teeth. Even a little one, man. They got some big damn teeth, man. But yeah, they're. It's almost like holding a. Huh?
Even with venomous, it's always the ones that look so nice that you're like, you can't mess with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like. I want to get a bush viper so bad. I think those are the awesomest looking snakes. But with having kids, man, if something ever happened, I'd never forgive myself for that. Yep.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's right. I can't get into venomous. It's just kids. I wouldn't mind getting into it one day, but not in the next 16 years.
Yeah,
pretty much. I mean, it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
Definitely something before the day I'm in the grave. I will have one, but it'll be 18 years or so from now.
I'll live vicariously through other people right now.
Yeah, that's why I like to go out to Dylan's house. Dylan's got some cool ass shit. that I get to look at, and so I don't have to have him, and he's not too far away. So I always make an excuse to go out there for guinea pigs or something to kind of play around in his snake room.
Yeah, I don't know anybody around here that has them. I need some more friends.
Dude, fucking, that's like me. I was telling Ivory Man King, well, I've basically tell everyone, come to Northern Michigan, you find like 5-6 serious hobbyists around me within like a 50-mile radius, unless you're counting like small ball python breeders and stuff, and you get like another
always a lot
30.
Like how I found that rack was literally right up the street.
Yeah.
Don't know who lives there. Never met him. Like I should have probably knocked on the door to see who it was, but I don't know. You just never know.
Yeah, that's the
I'm
one
not
thing.
saying ball python hobbyists aren't serious by any means.
I know,
That's
Renee.
not how I meant it. Like if you want something other than ball pythons, you only got like 6 or 7 people around here. The rest is all ball pythons.
Yeah, that's the thing
So.
about going to shows too. It's like, it like 90% of it is ball pythons.
Yep.
So I hardly ever go anymore because that's all there ever is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's a select few tables that'll have different stuff, but that's where I always go. I'll avoid most of them unless I'm looking for a specific ball python for a breeding project that I'm doing. But I don't look for look at them. I'm looking for what did someone get in here that's crazy.
Right. I think I have a good season this year. I think my next pair is going to be a pair of Boleens. Those are. Man, I would love to have one of those.
Yeah.
But that's probably going to be just a look at snake. And I think there's only been literally a handful of people that have ever bred them in captivity.
That's why I really want to go up to Nerd one of these days and see their facility.
Yeah,
because I feel like has been doing it all. And I'd love to see how he does everything.
Yeah, Kevin's got his hands into everything.
Yeah,
that guy. If it can be bred, he can do it. I know he's got a. I want to say he's got a pair of those. And I'm just curious to see if.
They got. I think they breed Bolins, but the babies for like $8,000 a piece or something. Like they're not cheap.
Yeah, they're madly expensive. I'd love to know the secret on doing that.
Yeah,
sure.
I definitely would love to go and pick Kevin's mind. Pick at him a little bit to see what you can learn from up there.
Yeah, he's got some cool stuff, man. I mean, I don't think anybody. I don't know if anybody's ever like the Moo Retics. I don't think anybody's ever produced those but him. I don't think he's letting that out.
No.
I don't think I've seen them.
Mm-mm.
The Moo Retics. Is it like a cow?
It's like the color of a cow, but it's like almost like if you took like a cotton ball, like a big giant cotton ball, and like blotched it on the snake all over. You have to look at it.
Yeah, look them up. Yeah, because that was one reason why I got that call. I've always had like a normal boa and stuff like that, a normal Burmese. And then coming to high school, I started seeing, which I didn't even know Nerd was, a company. I thought it was it was created by nerds. With some crazy shit. I seen a purple retic. And like I said this in high school, I'm like, that's so crazy looking. And then to find out, later down the road, that's actually a company. And this dude is just, create some cool ass shit. And whenever I started going even further into it, because there's so much more options.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, there's a few more genetics that I want to get. I'd love to be able to make some cows. I wasn't crazy about them at first, but they're kind of growing on me. And then I want to get an orange ghost stripe. I don't have one of those yet.
Yeah.
What would be your favorite morph besides Motley?
Favorite morph. Honestly, I would probably I'd probably say a Lucy. I mean, there's just something about an all-white snake with black eyes. You know, you don't see too many of them that make it. You know, because of the digestive issues. I know there's a lot of people working on it, but you know, see how that works out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then do you have like a specific? Oh,
Yeah.
Go for it.
Super Phantom. Super Phantom is all white, but what color are the eyes?
They're usually, I think, like a grayish color, aren't they?
Is it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know that was one of the things I was looking into doing one day, was hopefully producing the Super Phantoms.
Yeah, I had a male that died a couple months ago. I don't know what happened. I mean, just doing great, and as all of a sudden came in, he was croaked up, and
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
it happens. I even
yeah.
know my brother's sister, or my brother's girlfriend died. That something happened to one of theirs. And I'm like, look, it happens. You can do your best to make sure that never happens. They could show no sign at all, and just next day, it could have been a frozen rodent that you fed them. That there was something wrong with that. You know, there's just millions of different things it could have been.
Yeah.
You know, it's upsetting, but you got to expect it.
Yeah, I was gonna make Super Phantoms with the Phantom Super Tiger that I have too. So I'll probably get another one here. I mean, I got plenty of time for her. So.
And then did you got a retic that when you walk in your room that would be your favorite, like one that just puts you in awe every time?
Oh, that would be my big girl. I mean, I've had her since she was two months out of the age. She's just a normal lavender albino, but she's just got a demeanor like no other snake that I've ever had. You know, she's just awesome. I think she's like part human sometimes. But yeah, I mean, she just has like no care in the world. You know.
It's because that's how Sally. That's why Amel isn't what I wouldn't say is my favorite gene, but how she is just awesome. She's just an awesome dude to deal with. She always seems to want to come out, so I'd have to say that is my favorite to walk in and see. Right.
Yeah, I was thinking about going down to there's not too many
Thanks for
really.
the follow, Tina.
Huh?
I was talking to the people on the stream. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I was thinking about going down to Prehistoric Pets and getting one of theirs, their true genetic. I mean, the big genetic lines, and breeding some of those. But then I started thinking, do I really want to try and drag around a 300-pound snake, that weigh, that's 22, 23 feet long? I'll just stick with these little guys, that stay 16, 17 feet. That's perfect.
Yeah. And you already know what kind of handful you'll probably be getting into out there. I said you also know what kind of handful you'd be getting in picking up a breeder from them.
Yeah.
They definitely seem very temperamental.
Yeah. I had a where did I get from them? It was a golden child, and this is before that. I actually paid attention what golden child will do to your collection, which I'll never own one again. But it was a cool snake. I mean, I never had any problems with him. No attitude, but I won't put it into anything. It's just it kills pattern on everything.
Yeah. I still love them. But I'm aiming to make the albino golden childs and a couple different things.
I mean, yeah, as a standalone.
So you just don't like the golden childs because it kills the pattern.
It takes
everything.
It takes everything.
I mean, it leaves a little bit of a dorsal, but that's about it.
As a standalone pattern or standalone gene, they're awesome. But when you put it into, other stuff, I mean, it just, to me, it gets so hard to tell what's in them that,
oh yeah,
I just, I don't want to sell somebody something that, yeah, I think it has this. I'm not sure, but and I see a lot of these people that are saying, oh yeah, platinum golden child, tiger, sunfire, this and that, the 8 different genes in this animal. I'm like, how the hell do you tell all that's in there? It looks like a solid brown snake to me.
Yeah. You don't see any of it,
Mm-hmm.
which kills me. That's why I don't like to go that route and even buy stuff with multiple genes. I'll buy stuff with recessive genes, just for the fact of you'll get and if you breed the recessive.
Right.
But other than that, it just create more heads.
Right. I mean, personally, I don't want to put anything that's got more than 3 or 4 genes, and maybe one of those genes being like sunfire or something like that is an enhancer to the color.
Yeah, that's like these ball pythons. There's 5-6 gene animals out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how do you know? And they're all like, oh well, I think because it has this. You think, but there's no guarantee, and you have this huge price tag on it, and there's no guarantee.
Right.
So I like to do more like single or double gene where you for sure can tell what it is, and just makes it better on a seller to sell something like that.
Right. I'm probably, as soon as I get my tax money, which they're taking their sweet time on that this year. I'm getting a Motley. What is it? A Motley Platinum Spitfire from Tim Ritchie, which I don't know if you've ever seen the Spitfire gene. I mean, what it does for albino, it really shines in albino.
Huh.
It take like lavenders, they like fade to like a yellow. With the Spitfire, it keeps them like a bright burnt orange.
Really?
Yeah, I'll have to.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. I'll have to look into that.
I'll send you a picture of one. It's it really shines in albino, and I think it kind of does what sunfire does, but I think it almost cleans up pattern better. But in the albino, it really shines.
Huh? Yeah, definitely send that over.
Yeah,
I'm curious on that one.
Yeah, before Eric Herzog got out, of snakes, he produced some super Spitfires. And like on Sunfire, like the rosettes are missing on the tail.
Yeah.
On the super Spitfires, I mean, it was like they stopped mid body. Like half the snake was missing the pattern on the dorsal pattern on the side. They were badass.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yes, I've always liked the rosettes on the snakes. I think where it end, would look pretty cool because it'd be like you're looking at 2 different snakes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it's mid body.
Right.
They're like pretty dope.
I'd like to produce a paradox one day, just for me to keep. Did you see the recent pied? What is it? Pied albino, or half of it's normal pied, half of it's albino. It's all split up.
Yeah, I think I've seen it floating around. It's just it's hit and miss on that kind of animal.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully within the years I'm alive that happens. I'd love to just. It wouldn't go for sale. That's something I can keep just for me.
Right. I mean, I think the the paradoxes. I mean, I don't know. They seem to be more common nowadays. I've seen a lot more people producing them. So I don't know if it's a like specific line or I don't know.
Yeah. There's got to be something going on, and more breeders, and it's just popping up more. I don't know, but yeah, I hope I'd love to produce a paradox sperm or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens over the years.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the. I don't know if you've seen the picture of the European the berms that are in Europe that we don't have here yet. I don't know if you've seen the pitch. Some of the picture, one of them I call like a butterscotch, and there's a couple different morphs that they have over there that we don't. From what I've seen, I'm just waiting for them to pop up. Eventually,
Yeah.
They're just getting magic flip one day. No one's gonna know where they came from, but
Exactly.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I want to get my hands on.
there's gonna be a big name behind it, of course. But
Yeah, I think I know who it might be, but
right, we all have speculations on that one.
pretty much.
kind of like them pied berms that just popped up.
Yeah, they're all over now. That surprised me because everybody talking about how mean they are, and I have a pair here, and I don't have any problems with them at all. I mean, but my female.
You got a pair of pied berms now?
No, I don't. I have a pair. Yeah, I have a pair of pieds.
Yeah. My pied retic he's a sweetheart. I never had an issue with it. But yeah, I've definitely heard that a lot. And I also see a lot of it's coming from big breeders that don't have the time to spend with the snakes.
Right.
That's another thing. I don't want to go too big where I can't, spend some time with each one and work with them. I don't know. Yeah, I definitely feel like a lot of that comes from bigger breeders.
Right. I got Freya from Tim.
Yeah.
And she's supposed to be 66% het ghost, and so I'm looking to see if I can find a ghost that's het pied to prove that. But I mean, that's I don't see too many ghosts.
Shot in the dark.
Check out Titan Retic.
Huh?
Titan Retic. That's where most of my stuff has come from. And that's where my Motley Tiger het pipe came from.
Okay. Right.
I just wanted to say Freya was a beautiful pied too.
Yeah, she has a grip like no other snake that I have. I mean, she's something else. Her demeanor, her temperament is just. I mean, she's really good, but she's just totally different than everybody here. So,
Because Tim had 2 or 3?
Yeah, I got Freya, and then I got Titan as well.
And he spent a lot of time with her.
Yeah.
That was like every day you were seeing pictures of her, she was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's beautiful. I love her. Titan, he's really cool too. I mean, he's another one that you open the door, it's like food, and you just give him a little tap, and he's just like totally cool. A lot of times, but, yeah, these little albino berms, man, they're full of piss and vinegar right now.
Really?
Yeah, they're just, every time you open the door, go near them, and it is, they puff up, and big bluffers, but
Yeah, always. That's all my little ones. They'll all hiss, and like I always try to tell people is they're not really mean. They're defensive.
Yeah.
90% of the time, they're not going to strike at you. They're just trying to scare you away, making themselves sound big and look big. And as soon as you get them out, tell them to be quiet. They be quiet.
Shut up, snake.
yeah, it's just
Quit hissing.
I get a few more of those. I want to get a pair of caramels. I love how light those color or the pattern is on them when they get older.
Yeah. That's what I love about the greens too. The greens, all the pattern fades away. Right. They just leave the crazy looking greenish gray snake.
Right. I personally, I'm more into the albinos. I like the brighter colors and stuff like that. But
yeah,
that's just me.
I always find mixtures. I like them both. I always find positive and negatives about each one. The albinos were always what I wanted as a kid, but I couldn't afford them.
Right.
And now I can have them, so I definitely have them. But then there's just so many more options. And that's why I like the granites. I'd have to say maybe the granites are one of my favorite now, just because of all the, like, even if you get a reduced pattern one, I think this looks amazing.
Right. Yeah. I'd love to get a pair of labs, but Man,
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to them, man. They're god awful expensive now. If you can find one, it's like $1,200.
Yeah. Well, in a few years, if you're still looking, I will be producing them.
Oh, definitely.
I have a couple heads, so we'll see what all turns out.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm excited for that because I wanted one of them too. And I debated whether or not do I go and just buy the lab or do I want to produce it. And I feel more enjoyment out of producing it.
Right.
It's my ivory girl is het for labyrinth. I have a granite that's het for labyrinth, and then I have a hypo that's het for labyrinth. My granite's a powerhouse. He's got a couple hets that we'll prove out hopefully with him. But time show.
Right on. Yeah, I want to get a pair of greens too. I really love the greens.
Yeah. Look into even I think my favorite as far as that was I have a pearl het green. And what it did to the pattern is just it's crazy looking. I think that's one of my favorites as far as with it, because a lot of the, like I even said before, was you can see a lot of hets in the berms, and I love about it. The more and more you pay attention, you'll notice the normals will look completely different when they're het for something. It plays with pattern or coloring or something. Even I've noticed that with some of the ball pythons, because I did albino breeding this season, and with ball pythons, and you could tell certain ones are lighter than others. So I held them both back to see. They're both same genetic, both pastel, and I want to see which one actually produces albino. Or if they both produce it, then that kind of throws that theory out the door. But you can always tell something different about it.
Yeah, that's what you were telling me there. You sent me that video about the het green, so they got the stripe behind the neck. I never knew that.
Yeah, that, and then the more blocky pattern. There's a lot of different little ways. With the granites, I think it's speckling along the sides. Petey, hold on, let me let my dog.
Jeez.
All right, my bad. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of little. What are you doing? Little ways of telling.
Right.
I still think even with Retics, I swear you can tell what ones are males and females when they're older. Look at their faces. There's like a different facial structure. The males always kind of look like they're assholes, but they're not. And the females just always have a sweeter looking face, I feel. But I don't know if that's just because I've looked at them quite often. I don't know. And the fact I know this one's male.
I mean, my male retic, with only two, my male retic is a bit of a different head shape than my female.
I'll tell you what.
Different.
Out of every retic I have here, my Ultra Ivory just has it almost looks like a different head structure than the rest of them. I don't know why. Her head, her face just looks different than the average retic.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. She's supposed to be, she's supposed to be het albino. My pied is supposed to be het albino. And I'm thinking about putting those together and making some platinum het pieds this year. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know, I'm thinking about taking my Orange Glow Motley Platinum Citron to her and trying to make some Ultra Ivory Motleys. I always wanted some of those. I seen Ryan produce those, and they're cool. Instead, they almost come out like a pink snake, and then when they get older, it's just like the black specks,
Sounds cool.
Yeah, I don't know. But my main
Ryan Sullivan.
Yeah.
Ivory Man King. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's produced some pretty nice looking stuff.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm crossing my fingers. I'm hoping this titanium girl will go this year. That's That's my main focus. I don't know if orange glow titaniums have been made. They probably have. I've just never seen one.
Yeah, it's where I always even wonder where people find out that they made the world's first. Like, how do you know someone didn't do it already, but then post it online? Or, you know, I never understand when people go, "Oh, I made a world's first." How do you know?
Yeah, I don't know. To me, I mean, I look at it as like, it's not really a world's first. It's just though that specific combo just hasn't been made yet. I mean, it technically is a world's first, but it's
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's just because there are a lot of people like the breeder I know that's here in PA. He's been doing it since the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
He's not really on Facebook. He's not, a social media person. And you never know what those kind of people are doing in their shops and stuff.
Their secret laboratory in the basement.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, there's so many breeders out there that don't even, tell you what their projects are, what they've produced, and they're keeping all that stuff hush hush. And it's like, it's like all of a sudden, it's like, like it's just like when the pied berms came out. It's like Bob Clark was you saw was the only person that had them, and then all of a sudden, who was it? I got a lot of my stuff from him. Jay Gonzalez. And he had, and then all of a sudden he had albino ones, that he had already produced, and so it's like,
so how long were they really here for?
Exactly.
That's why I even think about it. Like I'm like, oh, I would love to do pied with a granite. They probably already have an adult granite female pied. They're always got beat up.
Right. What are your views on like as far as like mixing? These people that are putting like bloods and balls together. I mean, I
have a weird theory on. Look at the champagne.
That one's a hard one.
The champagne almost looks like a blood python mixed with a berm. And I brought this up, and like I have no proof. I'm just this coming out my ass. But realistically, if you look at the pattern, everything, and these are coming from other countries that now they're like, oh, what can we sell the U.S. for a shit ton of money?
Right.
So they're just mixing shit, is what I feel. Could be wrong, but I could be right.
I honestly, I think we're getting to the point now because we can't really import, any more berms or retics or African rocks or anything like that. I honestly feel like we're getting to the point where that's where the hobby is going to go as people, okay, well, let's make something new. And they're going to start, mixing, whatever they can to, just make different shit.
Yeah. Yep. Sure. Yeah, I think the hybrids look cool as hell. I think we talked about this, me and Dylan, last time. And the hybrids, like I said, they're awesome looking. Do I think it's a good idea? No. Just because of, like I said, there's people that label boas as ball pythons for sale. There's so many people that don't keep track of genetics or anything. And that just gets passed around, and it becomes just a new normal.
Right.
Instead of people saying, oh, this was a carbon python and a retic, or it just completely gets forgotten about. I see so many people that come to shows and the snake is het for something, but I don't know what. But it doesn't help me at all, unless I sat here and bred it to multiple different things to see if anything ever popped out. But people just pay attention to them little things. Like if I could say anything to anyone, like pay attention to what's on your, the container you buy. Save it. Write it down in a book. Write it down somewhere. Keep it. That's why I like to give out the cards. Hopefully people keep them.
Right. Well, that's kind of what, I want to, I'm going to start writing, everything, everything that I pair, write it down in a book, who I sold it to. And, that way, if it ever comes back and, oh, well, so-and-so sold me this snake and they said it got it from you. And, what is really in it? And, I can be like, okay, yeah, this is what I bred it to. This is what it had for, stuff like that,
Yeah. Yeah, I try to keep everything between. I have it's in a book, and then I have it on the computer.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only thing I have against really the hybrids. Because I said they can produce some cool stuff.
I mean, other than
mislabeling, and then
other than I would, and I wouldn't even say producing them is normal, but it does happen in the wild as like bad eaters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it'd be cool to produce something like that, but I just can't justify. Okay, well, if I get 30, 40 eggs, and then I might get 3 that survive. There's such a low fertility rate. I just can't.
Yeah. There's that, and the whole fact of if I just want one to just own. It's pretty much like part of the collection or whatever you would like to call it. But I don't know if I'd want to go the route of making them, because then you're also possibly stuck with all them animals, and it's not. Like I said, I would hate to sell them to just anybody.
Right. Not only that, but I mean, if you looked at them, the people that are selling them, I see, they go for such an ungodly price. I mean, I saw someone that was selling a jungle retic and wanted like $9,000 for it. I'm like,
no, there's some crazy prices.
For $9,000, you can keep it.
And then this is another problem where I see that is then you get people that are sitting at home with 2 snakes, and they see this $9,000 for this. Like, oh, well, I have a ball python and carpet python or whatever, and then they just want to make that because that's what they have.
Right.
It's like, just don't enjoy your pets. Don't try to make $9,000 off them, because you're not going to.
Exactly.
I mean, but that's a big part of why I'm not a fan.
I mean, for me, I mean, I would love to do this full time. I don't ever see it happening. I mean, for me, this is just a hobby. If I make a couple bucks, cool. If not, I've got them, and I take care of them, and I love them, and but
yeah, I can't wait to do a little more traveling and everything this year. Get out to a little further away shows and stuff like that, just to see what's out there. Because I venture out just to go randomly to shows that come up just to see, what. And it's crazy. Only like 2 hours from here, a normal ball python, they got listed for $150 on their table. For not even an adult or not a breeding female. So it's just crazy to see everything how it is everywhere else. It's, like I said, only 2 hours away.
Right. Yeah. One of these days, I'm gonna make it to the Tinley. I've been wanting to go to that pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot for fall. There's just no way with we got vacation coming up, everything, to be able to make it to the next one.
Yeah, I definitely want to try for the fall one too. That'd be dope.
Hopefully, we'll be able to get in and vend it. Would be what I'm aiming for.
Good luck on that, man. Everybody wants to vend there.
We'll see. We at least we know a couple people that should be able to help us out with getting us in.
Right. Yeah, all you need to do is get once, and they'll offer you.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
I think the only thing comparable I have, or that we have out here, is the I think it's in January, the Reptile Super Show in Anaheim, California. That's getting really huge out here.
Yeah, another big one I think around here, it's up in New York, is it Repticon? I think it is. I think it's called Repticon. Which I've looked at pictures. There's a countdown, just like Tinley and all that, on when it's coming up, and from the pictures and everything, it looks pretty huge.
Really?
I'd like to check that one out as well. But
right on. Yeah, I work Friday, Saturday, and Sundays, which sucks because I never get to go to anything. But hopefully that'll be changing here.
Yeah, we got a lot within the hour, 2 hour drive. A lot of them are like 45 minutes away.
Right.
So it's nice. If we wanted to go to a show every weekend, we could.
Right. I got the Vegas show here. That's pretty big. I mean, it's not too big, but it's it's getting to where people like Ryan Sullivan are, they're coming out here and vending. So, It's getting bigger.
How often is it?
I know there's at least 2 out here. I think maybe 3. I'm not sure.
Okay.
So
yeah, we may have to take a trip, Keith. Go out Vegas and go see what's all out there.
yeah, definitely, man. You come out here, I'll take off work and come down.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, Vegas was definitely a good time. The last time we were down there, but never even thought to go to any reptile shows.
Right. Yeah. I'm not sure when the next one is, but
Yeah, hell yeah. I'll look it up. See if we can get down that way.
I think next one's in June or July, I want to say. So,
Yeah, we'll check it out.
yeah, you don't want to come down here that time, man. It's hot.
Yeah. But even when was I down there? That was around April, I think.
What was that?
Keith, can't hear you.
End of March.
There you go.
After I shut my
He
mic
had
off.
his mic off though. Were you talking at all?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely.
it was.
Yeah, he was.
It was nothing important.
Damn.
It was how cold it was here when we got back.
Yeah,
It was literally like it was just gradually getting colder and colder as we came back into over this way.
it was
Yeah,
fun
y'all live-
stuff.
I'll live
We ever
on
get we're taking a plane. I'm not driving.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
It was a horrible
No.
idea.
Worst road trip we've ever done. We got pulled over so many times. It was miserable. So that's definitely not a fun route.
No,
I'd like to. I love road trips, but that was just nope. I'm not going down through Texas. I'm just avoiding that whole. Just try the other way and just get straight across.
Dude, we went we drove almost straight through. Oh yeah, we stopped in Pittsburgh, but we almost drove straight through to North Carolina Hatteras last May, and no,
yes.
not with a bunch
Really?
of kids.
That's not a bad trip.
Dude, it was almost like 24 hours straight.
Damn.
And
It's like
and
what,
then you
yeah.
add a bunch of kids into the car, and it's super cool.
North Carolina is like what, 7, 8, 9? No, 9.
It's
9
9
hours
hours.
Yeah.
from us. You guys are what, 8 or 9 hours? Conrad.
Yeah, and then you go 8 or 9 hours, and then you go all the way out to 8 or 9 hours to you, and then 8 or 9 hours to Hatteras. Well, North Carolina to get out to Hatteras, which is like an island way out there.
Yeah, to get out where
Just
we
down
went
the
to Outer
Channel
Banks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where
Yeah.
Hatteras is. Outer Banks.
I'd love to get down more north or down south, like North Carolina. I feel like that's like perfect temperature. Like got to deal with storms. We'll see. Everything's just one day. We'll see where it goes.
That's why I want to leave here. Ain't nothing. Nothing happens here. It's hot. There's no weather. It's hot.
Yeah.
Man, I'd
Definitely hot
rather
out
be
there.
where it's hot than where it's freaking 12
Oh no, you
degrees.
can dress warm. You can dress warm. You can't dress cold.
Right.
Yeah, you can always do
Wear extra or hoodies and coats and warm yourself up. And hot, you're just getting naked and you're still hot.
exactly. I mean,
What
you can
about-
always do something
What
to
about
warm up.
cool thermal gear?
That's all they ain't helping you.
Someone should make like shirts that keep cool.
Yeah, they make weird things you like flick and it's a cold pack. That doesn't make you cold though.
You know,
Mm-mm.
when it's
That little part of your body.
it's like 118, 120 degrees here. Ain't nothing doing cooling you off.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
No.
that's, just,
Very true.
that's why I want to go back to Texas, man. At least they had thunderstorms there.
At least they had rain.
They had
It's just
rain
dry.
there, you know?
Variety.
It just.
I remember
sucks.
even going to LA and it was just ridiculously hot and it looked like it started to rain and it only rained for like 3 minutes and then it just got hotter I'm like, this is just miserable. Like, I do not like this.
So Florida is.
Yeah, but see, like Myrtle Beach, I can go and run on the beach and not really sweat because it's dry, a dry heat, instead of more humidity.
Yeah, I can't. I don't like the humidity either. I mean, see, I lived in Missouri or Misery, as I like to call it, for a year, and when it's 90 degrees and 100% humidity, it's miserable. You just want to go back inside and take a shower because you just
Yeah, that's how it gets here in summer.
When I lived in Texas, I was about 20, 30 miles above San Antonio, and we didn't really get that humidity there. It was nice. Here, you don't get nothing. I mean, I think that's probably why have such bad problems with like shedding and stuff. The air is just so dry here.
Yeah.
Can I forget who I was just watching? Someone went and viewed someone's reptile room, and they rubber coated the walls to keep the humidity in.
Really?
Which I thought that was a pretty nifty idea down the road to do something like that.
Or even like plastic.
Well, yeah, it's pretty much like anything.
Right. I'm just saying. Plastic's probably cheaper.
Pond liner or roll-on pond liner.
Yeah.
Anything just so it wouldn't absorb the water.
I don't know. I've thought about adding a humidifier in here, and then it's like, well, how or putting one of those like misters where they go in the cage, but then like, how am I going to get that to every one of these cages? And so I don't know. It's a constant battle out here.
Yeah. It's where, like I said, even with how I wanted to do that with the incubator, because that was what we were going to use. That's just, is it really worth it? Is it really going to help that much, or should I just spray it down every so often?
Probably better off just spraying it. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Especially when they get, I can see they're getting ready to shed. I'll go in there and, hit them 2 or 3 times a day, and I'll usually get a clean shed on that.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'll be right back.
Something just break.
Yeah, I don't know.
It sounded like it.
So you said you're getting some new stuff coming from Tex.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that Spitfire. That's pretty vital. And
is it an adult or baby?
It's a baby. I think it was born a couple months ago, but there's not too much Spitfire stuff out there.
Yeah. I'm really curious to see what that is.
Yeah,
I haven't heard of that yet, but there's a lot that just keep popping up, or that you just don't know because you didn't have that friend on Facebook or something, or it just slowly, the more and more people you meet, the more and more stuff you see.
It was weird because Tim Ritchie, he told me the story. Eric Herzog, he bred 2 albinos. Well, you should all get all albinos from that. And then he had one that popped out that was a normal, and that's where it came from. So, I mean, it must have been a hidden genetic somewhere along some line. But yeah.
That's cool.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's I want to get into that and get some anacondas. I really want a pair of anacondas. I hear they're really, and again, that's just like Retic talk, about when they first came in, that they're kind of unpredictable, but they seem, from what I've seen, they seem to be getting better.
Yeah.
One of my buddies, actually, he's probably like 3 miles down the road. He mainly works with anacondas. He's got yellows, greens, and then like yellow-green hybrids that he produces once in a while,
Right.
And he does, and I mean, he's got like a patternless yellow and some other stuff that he's working with. And I was over there, and I got to hold one of the yellow babies he produced last fall, before he was shipping it out. And I also got to hold one of his hybrids, one of his older hybrids. And the older hybrid was really cool, but that baby, man, out of nowhere, it just like freaking grabbed me twice, and then calmed right back down. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, I've heard that. They can be fine 1 minute and then just turn around and bite you and then be fine again.
Yeah, it was so weird. Like, it just barely like moved its head, nipped me twice, and then put its head back to where it was. I'm like, fuck.
Tell you what, man, have you seen a picture of the albino greens? I wasn't impressed with those. I thought they'd look a lot better.
You're talking about the berms?
No, the albino anacondas.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think Jesse was sending me some pictures of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't real impressed with the color on them. It's not like a retic or a berm. That like really bright orange. It was like more of a dullish color.
Huh. That's weird.
Yeah, I'm waiting for.
I didn't see those.
Yeah, it was floating around Facebook a while ago.
Now, one hybrid that I do really like the look of is the anaconda and the boa. Oh, they're both boas, but a normal, Colombian boa. Look, that's a crazy looking snake.
I've not seen one of those.
Yeah, check it out. It doesn't look like an anaconda, and it doesn't look like, a Colombian boa.
Really?
Huh.
Yeah, it definitely creates cool stuff. But I said it's just still the whole fact of, do you really want to sell that out into, to anyone?
Right. I think it's a specialized it's a specialized market for people that are looking for that stuff. I mean, I wouldn't personally buy one, but
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I might buy a bat eater just
Dude,
because
I know.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
I've heard the strength on them is just unreal.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd love I don't know. I want to do it, and then I don't want to do it.
Exactly. That's where I'm like, I don't know.
I said with any subject that I have, I always look at it from both sides, and it kind of screws me by doing that, because I'm always trying to, is that a good idea? Is that a bad idea? But I can see, this is why they like it, and this is why they don't like it.
Right.
But it always leaves me stuck in the middle going, do I or don't I, or flip a coin?
Right.
Always flip a coin.
Yep.
We'll never let you down.
Yeah, the magic 8
Just
ball.
flip a blank piece of paper. And then whatever you were hoping it landed on, just go with that.
Yeah, as much as I think about it and talk about it, I'll probably not do it.
Sure, here. Come sit down. Guys, you're never in any of the videos. Hey, this is Alex.
No way. Who are you?
Yo, Alex, how's it going?
Good,
man.
Yeah, see? Yeah, now you're live. Oh, yeah. You gotta start getting more involved and all this.
Right.
You gotta teach him young. That's what I say.
He has really nice stuff at his house, but he'll send me a picture every so often, but doesn't post stuff.
The world
And he's
doesn't
young.
know he exists.
Yeah, Alex, you want to talk about some things you keep? I mean, I've heard about from Josh, but not from you.
What was your topic today? What's next? What about the most?
No, we're doing retics, anything, berms. You have retics, you have berms.
Yeah. But I have green granite hypo albino or head albino berm, which
You have berms.
berms. Yeah. And I have green.
Wait,
albino
what do you all
berm.
keep? You keep retics?
Yeah, berms. I have a false water cobra. I have a Amazon tree boa. What else? We have a monitor. a black and white tegu.
But then he has multiples of these things.
Yeah.
Well, they said the things that he has, every time I go there, like, I take pictures because he doesn't. I'm like, you got, post it on Facebook. But
How's the teeth? How's the teeth on that emerald tree boa, man? I've seen them, man. They're huge.
They're pretty long. She's not that big, but she's got big teeth. Probably the biggest out of any of the snakes I have, I would say.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine getting tagged by one of them.
Hell no.
That's ones that latch on and hang on. You hope they don't pull off.
Yeah. Well, thanks. I'll pass.
For sure.
But yeah, I definitely, every time, like I said, I'm out there. And I would have always thought, since he's the youngest out of all of us, he would have been the more Instagram and Facebook. Well, that's us.
Yeah.
And he's just quiet.
Right.
I like
It happens, though. I can't blame you. Old school.
He's been around it since, I've always had stuff since he was a kid. So.
Send that shit by homing pigeon.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh.
It's already almost 11 o'clock.
Yeah, no, we've been live for like almost 2 hours now.
It's not even 9 o'clock here.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we probably went live at like 7 your time. That's right. You're like 2 hours.
What, 7?
10:44 here.
Huh?
10:44 here?
Yeah.
It's 8 here.
Yeah, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
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 Well, shit, on that note, I think Alex is going to join us next week.
He should.
Yep.
We'll time down.
Look at that. See, look, if you cut my screen in half, there's enough room for you.
Yeah.
There's plenty enough room.
Like, using Keith's spots, well, I can go right in the middle.
Yeah, we can fit a total of what, 6 people on here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think, 6 or 8. 6. Yeah.
6, I think.
All right.
You guys should have came early.
Yeah, I had no.
You guys want to call it a night, or you got anything to show off?
Yeah, I
Or
can.
do you want?
Yeah. Let me get this couch out of the way. I've been rearranging everything. The lighting is not too great in here, but
Oh, good. Believe me, it took me a couple of times to even get it halfway where I feel like my lighting in here is decent.
let me flip this around here.
Oh.
Yep.
He pushed the wrong button. I don't know what's going on.
There he goes.
Is he back?
Oh.
Yep.
Push
There.
the flip button.
There he is.
No, I hit the flip button. I thought I was going to turn the camera around.
Yeah, you would think it would, right?
Yeah, that's how it should work, theoretically.
Keith, do you have something green on your head?
No, dude, for some reason, I don't know what happened. In like the middle of it, something like went haywire.
There, it's gone now.
I know, but look how I go from like super blue to like orange and pink. Like it's being crazy.
Kind of look like an Oompa Loompa.
Yeah,
like,
it's not.
Transformer over there.
I'm gonna have to mess with it when we get off because everything went like nuts and all my settings. Just look at this. Look at this.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. All right, there we go.
Oh, yeah. Hiss.
No problem, Jamie. Thank you for joining.
What's up?
What?
Oh, nothing. Oh, guys, I don't know.
Yeah, we made your screen.
Yeah.
We made your screen bigger.
Oh, okay.
Easier for everyone to see.
Yeah, these little guys here, man.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Piss
wow.
and vinegar, man. These are my little berms, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Are they het for anything? Do you know of? Because I feel like Jay wouldn't produce normals.
You know, I got both of them for $222, so I don't think they're.
Yeah.
I don't think they're het for anything. It would be cool if they were, but I'll find out eventually.
Yeah. I always wondered with that, because all the bigger time breeders, you know, they have more genetics.
Right. Oh, hey, calm down there, big fella. All right.
We'll be in the video too.
Okay.
This here. Come here. This is. Come here. He might still be.
That's the ultra ivory.
No, this is my orange glow motley. Get out of the way, you dumb cat. Go.
Oh, Keith.
Uh-oh.
Hi.
Keith, what's up, man?
What's up? That was scary. Huh? He must have pushed the wrong button or something. Look, it's doing it again. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah. Oh, I keep tripping out behind the.
Yeah, it's
Stuff.
something to do with the auto white balance, but if I shut it off, that's when I look see through. So
Sit down for a minute.
I don't know.
Sure.
We'll just I could always just ha.
That works.
Now I'm a circle. Hi, Emma.
Hello.
Where did everyone go?
Jeremy left. Josh dipped out and was replaced by y'all's brother.
Yeah. I think he's
Yeah.
purple.
He says, "I don't know what I'm supposed to do here."
Jeremy said that? Oh. Well, I don't know. We need to have commercials for when shit like this happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them buttons you can
Or make-
press, and it's experiencing technical difficulties.
Yeah, right.
I think. Yeah.
Ow. Oh, there he is. Almost. He's almost there.
Yep. He just messaged me. Well, that didn't work out too good.
That didn't work out too good.
I don't know.
I went to put my phone down. I
Yeah,
don't know if this will work out. Too good. If you can see this guy, this is Titan here. He's here. You see?
Oh,
Oh,
I love
yeah. That's Tim's old Titan, huh?
Yeah. I love the pattern on this guy. He's just awesome.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, he's always been a gorgeous snake.
Yeah, he's pretty big. I mean, he's getting bigger. Hold on. I mean, I don't know. He's probably a good 6, 7 foot, somewhere in there.
Did she just eat? What?
Yeah, he's super cool, man.
Yeah, she's a fake. Oh, she did?
There. I'm not taking her out.
Yeah, she's older than you.
That's wild.
They sit there.
Yeah. She's gonna be 20. She's like over 20.
She's over 20.
Oh.
Yeah, she's older than you.
She's probably like the same.
All right.
I never really thought about
And then there's Freya, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
She's just something else, man. This snake has a grip like no other.
And she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Say hi. Yeah, she got a few more years.
No.
And then
Where's your tip?
Oh,
let me. This here,
Jaguar.
this is her boyfriend.
Nice.
Oh man.
He might be het tiger. I'm not sure. That's what I've been told. Or not het tiger. He might be tiger. He's supposed to be het albino. But we'll find out.
Where'd that boy come from?
I got him from Gerald. Gerald Todd.
Okay.
And he got him from somebody who got a replacement from somebody's snake that died. I won't name names again, but you look like an, I don't know. I'll try and see if she'll come out and play. She just ate the other day, Monday. I don't know how the attitude's going to be. Hey.
How are you like coat?
Donnie's dog tried to eat her.
Yeah, she is very. Don't touch me. I don't know if you can. This might her ultra ivory. I don't know if I can get her face real good, but come here.
She's pretty.
Yeah.
I always wait. Anytime that I post my ultra ivory, I'm always waiting for someone to be like, "Why is it dirty?"
Yeah, she's got. She's still got a little bit of a rabbit, so I don't want to pick her up too much. I'll get. This is one of my absolute favorites here. As soon as I get this. Hold on. Still got a little bit of this is my purple super motley. I love this snake. I don't know, just something about a white. You know, it's as closest to a ultra, not ultra, but a Lucy's I'm probably gonna get.
Oh
Definitely
man,
pretty.
yeah, she is gorgeous.
Yeah, this is the one that was sold to me as a male, or I think as a female. You still got a little bit of a food lump in you, so I'm gonna put you back too. All right. This is gonna be a task.
No.
Come here. All right. Come here. And then this big old heifer right here. This girl probably. Come here. I don't know if I can make that go out any wider or not. This girl, she probably weighs close. She's getting probably close to 90 pounds.
Jeez.
Say hi.
Oh man.
I don't know if I can zoom it out anymore, but come here. She done good what she wanted. Come here. go where she want to go.
Oh man, she's gorgeous.
They're definitely a workout.
For sure.
This snake, I don't need a gym membership. I just need one of these. But, yeah. Okay. You're already enough. Get in there. Oh God. Anybody, I love to bring her out for anybody that I want a big snake. Well, this is what big snake is.
Yeah, it's another thing. Like wherever people, try to say not to pull them out by themselves. A big part of it is there's so much of a workout. You almost want someone else there that you can hand it off to, and get some kind of relief from trying to catch them and deal with them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, she's, like I said, I've had her since she was, 2 months out of the egg, and she's probably one of the only ones that, I really don't have an issue with, that I would feel, as big as she is, pulling her out and, being comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel confident in most of mine. But it's just like I said, whenever you get them out, you're out of breath within, under a minute.
Oh, yeah.
They're definitely a workout.
Yeah, she's the one that I, if I go to, my kid's school, I take her and, everybody, ooh, non, but, she's really good, it's like my, the Phantom Super Tiger. I'd never take her, I'd be afraid she'd bite somebody.
Yeah, that's how my I've had her since she was like 6-7 weeks old, and she's like a giant ball python almost at times, just a more active one.
Oh yeah, I mean,
her demeanor is just great.
That's how she is, she's just a big giant baby, and the shit, carrying around for a minute, and I feel like I've been working out for an hour. Surprisingly, and I'm not usually one to tell people this, but I had plexiglass on here, and one day I came home and she had popped this plexiglass out, and I went downstairs and to get something out of the car, and I could hear my wife screaming, "Get in here!" And she was just out roaming around having a good old time, and had four cats around her. Didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
She will not touch anything that does not smell like her food. It doesn't, and it's weird, because it took me probably a good 3 months to get her on rabbits. I mean, it's just a pain. It's a pain in the ass to switch them. I have other ones that you can throw anything in there, they'll eat anything.
Dude, that is the same exact problem I'm having right now with Buttercup. Like, she'll take a rabbit here and there, but she'll take rats, she'll take frozen thawed stillborn piglets. I throw a rabbit in there, though, I'm having so many problems unless like I heavily send it like a rat, or like I get lucky.
That's what I had to do. I had to take a rabbit or a rat and just rub it constantly. And for who was I listening? It was one of the guys on your show. I mean, he was right. I mean, you almost have to give a little bit of tough love and wait them out.
Yeah.
I had that Super Motley. She was she's kind of a sporadic eater here and there, and she was only on live, and I had to wait her out like 2 months to get her on frozen thawed. They're not going to starve themselves. Eventually, they will take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you tried the piglet?
The what?
Conrad.
I was going to thaw it out tomorrow. Dude, she'll take the piglet, no problem. So,
she might be going into breeding.
Yeah. I'll thaw it out tomorrow with Charlie's rat, because I'm going to give Charlie another rat tomorrow, and we'll see. She'll take the piglet. I don't know, like the rabbit, they don't have that, like, they don't, it's like something about the smell of them. Like they don't have that freaking heavily, like, I don't know, rodent-y smell, I guess. Well, the ones I get anyway don't really even have any scent to them. It's weird.
Yeah, I thought about pigs and stuff like that, but I mean, I don't know. To me, there's too much fat and not enough like lean meat. Because I can get those, down here too, but
yeah, I try and rotate it back and forth because I'm on my last stillborn piglet I have in the freezer, and I just got rats and rabbits. But like I've gotten to take her to take about as many rabbits as I have stillborn piglets. So I just try and rotate them out that way,
Yeah, I only have one that I could probably do that with. That would, maybe two that would just eat anything. The rest of them, they're pretty stubborn, in what they want.
Yeah, for the most part, even on babies, I try to do different stuff. Like I like to get them off of mice as fast as possible, if I even use mice at all. I like to either do the rats, or then I'll do chicks, and then guinea pigs, and then just keep on switching it up. And so far, I've been lucky with none of them ever really turned down a meal, no matter what it is.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Especially burms. Burms love chicks. If you have a picky eating burm, it'll make a chick guaranteed 100%.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I was surprised because I was getting like the little for my little burms. I was getting on the like little rats, where they had just a little bit of hair on them, kind of crawling around. And my pet, I was having to get them live because that's what they were. And pet shop was closed, and I was feeding everybody, and I had some small rats out there. And I was like, I wonder if they'll eat one of these. It's a little bigger, but took the frozen thawed right away.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
Oh yeah.
That's how it even shocked the boas that we produced last season. They all took frozen thawed after the first shed with no problems. But it's exciting when that happens, because now you don't got to go out of your way to. I don't breed rodents. I don't want to breed rodents.
Yeah, I did that for a while, and it's just.
I did that when I was younger, and they stink.
Yeah.
I had some as pets, and I had one bite my nipple. And it just, I don't know. Never a big fan.
I mean, it's enough. I mean, when you've got, 10, 12, 15 snakes, I mean, constantly cleaning up, after them all the time. And then to do rodents, I mean, it's just too much. I mean, I just order from Rodent Pro, and it ship them to my door. And
I just tried that, man. It didn't work.
What was that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Talking to Ryan. Sorry. I need to come up with a better system here.
Yeah. But anyways, man, I think I only got 16% left on this, so
yeah, shit. Sorry for killing your phone battery, man.
that's
But
fine, man.
Yeah, man.
we definitely appreciate you joining us and shit, man. It's been good. If you ever want to pop back on, we can always schedule something else too,
Yeah, definitely, man. It was fun.
Yeah, even like we could say, like anyone that produces babies or whatever, that's free advertisement. That's how I look at it.
Right.
You want to show off some of the babies and stuff like that? Just hit us up. Let us know when you want to come back on.
Yeah, definitely, man. We talk snakes all day long.
Right, for sure. I mean, like I said, I think you were asking how long it ran for. I get that question constantly. Like, well, typically we run it for an hour, but normally it goes quite a bit.
I don't think we've ever run it for an hour. We always say we're gonna run it for an hour, and it ends up 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah, hour and a half, 2 hours. Yeah,
You get a bunch of reptiles.
It happens. Yeah, exactly. You can't just stop talking about reptiles or snakes.
She agrees with me. She probably doesn't understand half the things I'm saying, like, oh, I need this gene to make this, and she just, okay. Like, but I never get like feedback of, but what if you would do this? Yeah.
Right.
So that's when it gets interesting to hear what other people are doing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I like
But yeah, man. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it's good because I like to know what other people have out there. Maybe if I have something that somebody else wants, and they have something that I want, and make a trade, and
everything can work out.
Exactly. So. Yeah.
But yeah, man. Thanks for popping on with us, man. We definitely appreciate it. And it's been fun. It's some good conversation.
Yeah, we'll do it again, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, we look forward to it. It'll be fun. And
all right,
sorry about killing your phone battery. I was hoping your webcam would work out for you, but
yeah, I'm gonna work on that. See what's wrong. I don't know if it's just because it should be because it's Apple, because this phone's Apple, so
yeah.
Got to play with technology. Technology sucks.
Pretty much.
It's supposed to be easier, but it's 10 times harder to figure out half the stuff.
Yeah.
He was trying to get a mic for his phone, his iPhone, and just like my new phone, the Pixel, they don't have plugs to just plug in headphones. Really? It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. That you got to buy an extension to plug that in. Like, instead of keeping the plug that you can plug your headphones in, now you have to go buy an individual little piece.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing with the Apples. I mean, they don't come with a headphone jack anymore, but they still send it with headphones with this little lightning adapter to headphone. And
makes no sense, yeah.
Yeah, technology sucks. We need to get rid of it. Nah, I wouldn't say get rid of it, but I'm going to ramble off real quickly. I hate going to stores and using the self-checkout lines.
This is why it lasts 2 hours.
Yeah.
All the things around my
yeah, we can't quit bullshit.
Well, here, how about this? Everyone say bye. I'll end the stream, and then you can talk as long as you want.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, guys.
All right. Talk to you later.
See you.
See you later.